is high but stagnating. 1. Meat consumption in emerging economies is on the rise. 2. Meat is animal flesh that is eaten as food. 3:1 Humans are omnivorous. 4, 5, 6 and have hunted and killed animals for meat since prehistoric times. 6. The advent of civilization allowed the domestication of animals such as chickens, sheep, fish, seafood, pigs and cattle, and eventually their use in meat production on an industrial scale. Meat is mainly composed of water and protein, and is usually eaten together with other food. It is edible raw, but is normally eaten after it has been cooked and seasoned or processed in a variety of ways. Unprocessed meat will spoil within hours or days. Spoilage is caused by the practically unavoidable infection and subsequent decomposition of meat by bacteria and fungi, which are borne by the animal itself, by the people handling the meat, and by their implements. Meat consumption varies worldwide, depending on cultural or religious preferences, as well as economic conditions. Vegetarians choose not to eat meat because of ethical, economic, environmental, religious or health concerns that are associated with meat production and consumption. Most often, meat refers to skeletal muscle and associated fat and other tissues, but it may also describe other edible tissues such as offal. 3:1 Conversely, meat is sometimes used in a more restrictive sense. The flesh of mammalian species, pigs, cattle, lambs, etc., raised and prepared for human consumption, to the exclusion of fish, other seafood, poultry or other animals. 7, 8. Content, Hide 1 Etymology 2 History 3 Growth and Development of Meat Animals 3.1 Genetics 3.2 Environment 3.3 Nutrition 3.4 Human Intervention 4 Biochemical Composition 4.1 Main Constituents 4.2 Red and white meat 5 Nutritional Information 6 Production 6.1 Transport 6.2 Slaughter 6.3 Dressing and Cutting 6.4 Conditioning 6.5 Additives 7 Spoilage and Preservation 8 Methods of Preparation 9 Issues 9.1 Ethics of Eating Meat 9.2 Religious Traditions 9.3 Health 9.3.1 Cancer 9.3.2 Heart Disease 9.3.3 Bacterial Contamination 9.3.4 Cooking 9.4 Environmental Impact 9.5 Imitation Meat 9.6 Misidentification 10c Also 11 References 12 External links Etymology Edit The word meat comes from the Old English word meat, which referred to food in general. The term is related to mad in Danish, mat in Swedish and Norwegian, and mater in Icelandic and Faroese, which also mean food. The word meat also exists in Old Frisian, and to a lesser extent, modern West Frisian, to denote important food, differentiating it from sweets, sweets, and dierfied, animal feed. History Edit See also History of agriculture. Paleontological evidence suggests that meat constituted a substantial proportion of the diet of even the earliest humans. 3:2 Early hunter-gatherers depended on the organized hunting of large animals such as bison and deer. 3:2 The domestication of animals, of which we have evidence dating back to the end of the last glacial period, c. 10,000 BC, 3:2 allowed the systematic production of meat and the breeding of animals with a view to improving meat production. 3:2 The animals which are now the principal sources of meat were domesticated in conjunction with the development of early civilizations. A typical shoulder cut of lamb sheep, originating from Western Asia, were domesticated with the help of dogs prior to the establishment of settled agriculture, likely as early as the 8th millennium BC. 3:3 Several breeds of sheep were established in ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt by 3500–3000 BC. 3:3 Presently, more than 200 sheep breeds exist. Cattle were domesticated in Mesopotamia after settled agriculture was established about 5000 BC. 3:5 And several breeds were established by 2500 BC. 3:6 Modern domesticated cattle fall into the groups Bos taurus, European cattle, and Bos indiceus, zebu, both descended from the now extinct aurochs. 3:5 The breeding of beef cattle. Cattle optimized for meat production as opposed to animals best suited for draft or dairy purposes began in the middle of the 18th century. 3:7 The Hereford bull, a breed of cattle frequently used in beef production. Domestic pigs, which are descended from wild boars, are known to have existed about 2500 BC in modern-day Hungary and Troy. Earlier pottery from Jericho and Egypt depicts wild pigs. 3:8 Pork sausages and hams were of great commercial importance in Greco-Roman times. 3:8 Pigs continue to be bred intensively as they are being optimized to produce meat best suited for specific meat products. 3:9 Other animals are or have been raised or hunted for their flesh. The type of meat consumed varies much between different cultures, changes over time, depending on factors such as tradition and the availability of the animals. The amount and kind of meat consumed also varies by income, both between countries and within a given country. 9. Horses are commonly eaten in countries such as France, 10, Italy, Germany, and Japan. 11. Horses and other large mammals such as reindeer were hunted during the late Paleolithic in Western Europe. 12. Dogs are consumed in China. 13. South Korea. 14. And Vietnam. 15. Dogs are also occasionally eaten in the Arctic regions. 16. Historically, dog meat has been consumed in various parts of the world, such as Hawaii. 17. Japan. 18. Switzerland. 19. And Mexico. 20. Calves are consumed in southern China and Peru. 21. Guinea pigs are raised for their flesh in the Andes. 22. Whales and dolphins are hunted, partly for their flesh, in Japan, Alaska, Siberia, Canada, the Faroe Islands, Greenland, Iceland, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and by two small communities.